Hello, this is Rick.
And Philip.
Today we're going to talk about Google Earth or using Google Earth to do some trigonometry and math. So we are from Munich International School, and so there we are. So the first thing we're going to do is going to open up Google Earth, and we're going to show you a little bit about how you can use it to do some math. And the second thing we're going to talk about or use during these activities is a online or on-screen protractor made by Conoco, which actually works extremely well for our purposes. And then we'll start navigating the world. Easy as that, right, Phil?
Yeah, so let's start with some tips on using Google Earth, the pins and the ruler.
Okay, so let's go. Our first problem is going to be in San Francisco Bay, sort of near Alcatraz and some of those good places. So here we are at the pier. Okay, so the first thing you want to make sure you do is, let's open up our screen protractor. The first thing before you even start is make sure that you're facing north, because this whole thing can be totally off, and all your math will be off and everything will be all messed up. The point of this is to make sure the kids and students and everybody understands bearings at the end of the day, and well, if you're not even facing north, it's not even going to work.
Yeah, so all bearings from north. So first setting up and making sure your north line on your compass, on the on-screen protractor, your protractor is always straight up and down to oriented north.
Yeah, so I have the blue one always be north. I never touch that blue one. I always play with the red one. So you can see now that, and it kind of locks into place. It's pretty nice at 90 degrees. So if I'm sailing this way, I'm sailing at a bearing of 90 degrees. If I'm sailing this way, I'm sailing at a bearing of 180, and so on. So, all right, we're at the pier. So the only two things your students need to be using is the pin and the ruler. And so what I like to do is, for example, let's say I'm sailing at a bearing of 0 degrees. So you can just 0 degrees, and what I like to do is I Conoco made a hole in the center so you can actually see the tip of the pin and the inside of the protractor, and you can just extend this as far as you want. And let's say I want to sail for a mile or 2 miles. So you grab the ruler and you get this little square, and the ruler or the square disappears when you get on the protractor, except for if you get right in between, right in the hole there. So
that hole is lined up with the end of the pin, which is exactly where you want it to be.
Yeah.
And now we can see 2.29 miles.
So you can drag it along the blue line, the blue and red line, and let's say we're going to go 2 miles, and of course we try and get as accurate as we can.
Perfect. Well done, Rick.
So I'm going to place it now. All right, 2 miles. There we go.
And in that drop-down menu, you can choose miles, kilometers, nautical miles, all kinds of different, whatever it is that you're exploring as your units.
I usually do smoots.
Smoots? I thought you kept the smooting for the weekend.
Oh, good one. So, and then what we like to do is every time I sail somewhere, I place a pin. And this pin kind of lights up and everything, and just place it right on the end of that tip there. We might be losing a few smoots but we can get pretty close to where we want to be. So, and I usually just maybe position 1 or U1, whatever that is. 1. Okay. So, and there we are. And then you can only use the ruler once. At least you can only have it activated one line. So just push clear, and there you are. You know that this is 2 miles away. And then you can go ahead and start with the next piece.
And you'll notice on the left there that the 1 shows up as a pin under places, under my places.
Yeah,
so it's stored there. And anywhere you are on Google Earth, if you decide to go to Africa for a while or whatever, then you can double click there and it'll bring you back.
So keep in mind, it's pretty important that, the point of this is students are actually sailing from this pin to this pin. So they can only measure that distance if they actually go there. So anything other than, like if I want them to find the distance to Alcatraz, I'm not sailing there, so I don't get to just pick up the ruler and measure that. That defeats the point. So there's your intro. That should kind of get you going and get you using the protractor and some of these different tools that Google Earth has.
Excellent. The only other thing I would mention, if you're going to do an activity with the students and you're going to pick two locations that are very far away from each other, your triangles aren't going to work out with the sine and cosine and Cartesian trigonometry, because you're going to be on a curved surface, and make sure your distances are not too far.
We've known that for a while, yeah? Earth is round?
Yeah, they
Earth is
figured
round.
that out.
Yeah, they did figure that. So stay tuned to the next podcast. We'll get you going on a few different examples. Thank you.